Well, first of all, what kind of mythical powers does a Sun Devil have? We got to consider that.
You all don't remember the Georgia Southern game, do you?
You know, I hope there's Bigfoot. I don't think there is.
Like rat poison. All right, so
It's Division One football! It ain't intramurals!
All right, welcome back to the Hoppy Huddle podcast. I'm Jake, that's Ed. Today we are in person. We are live from the great state of Virginia, and we have got a combined show because we're doing it compressed because Thanksgiving and Rivalry Week and all this. So we're doing a reaction to Week 13. We're doing a Rivalry Week predictions and previews as well. I think we'll probably rant about the college football playoff for about 2 to 3 minutes as usual, as your regularly scheduled program. But it's going to be a great show.
We're just a few drumsticks away from knowing where Lane Kiffin's going to go.
Oh, yeah, nobody knows. So
it's a circus. What a circus. So
yes. Reminiscent of the decision by LeBron and various other people. It's kind of all over the place. And it would not surprise me if he just tweets out where he's going on a random, Sunday morning.
Yeah, I mean, what time's the game? The game is, I think, a 3:30 game or 3:30 game on Friday.
Yeah.
So, because the late games, no. Yeah, I think that's the 3:30 game Friday. I'll see game time in front of it.
Ole Miss.
Here, I can look at it here.
Okay.
Anyway, so as soon as that game's over, you could expect.
There's going to be some sort of statement.
They said it'll be Saturday, but I think you're going to get pressure right away to make. People are going to be after him, and who's going to break the story first? Like, is he going to make the announcement? Is he going to leak it to NACO? Is he going to leak it to Thamel?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know. Is he just going to tweet it out? That would be the most Lane Kiffin thing of all time.
Yeah,
just tweet it out.
So you better have your phones ready. Check Twitter constantly.
Make sure you set your Twitter mode to most recent instead of most popular because they switched up the algorithm again.
Yeah. So it's no, this is a noon game. I'm sorry, this is a noon game.
So we may find out mid-afternoon.
It could be. So you better eat those leftover stuffing turkeys.
He might just announce it at the post-game press conference. Like,
boy, if not,
pull a tennis. Do you remember when he did that back in the day? Yeah,
this is it's gonna be crazy. But this is not the only thing going on the weekend. I guess first let's talk about last week. Kind of an uneventful weekend, to be honest.
Yeah. The only major exciting game was the Kansas State-Utah game, which was a barn burner, but nothing, not the most exciting weekend overall. But we had some good games.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Oregon USC game was probably the biggest game of the weekend, and I thought it was most telling that Oregon pretty much
kind of had control most of the game.
Yeah, they had control. Once they got that punt return for a touchdown, they sort of took the lead and never really let it go. I mean, USC hung in there. I mean, it just feels like USC is just a step behind them. And now the question is, I don't think Oregon's going to make the Big Ten championship unless something crazy happens. And now, can they get healthy enough to really make a deep run with the wide receivers, particularly in the offensive side?
Yeah, it'll be interesting because if they can get Torian Moore back, that totally changes their passing game. Right now, with Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end, as the number one target, teams kind of double up on him, and there's not a lot of other great options at receiver position for Oregon. And so Dante Moore, as you've seen, has kind of struggled a little bit. He's not been bad, but they haven't been as explosive as they were before. But if they get him back for the playoff and he's healthy, I think they're definitely dangerous and able to probably make a run, maybe even upset a bigger guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so I think Oregon kind of pretty much put itself in position now, assuming they don't lose to Washington, which I don't think they will.
I don't think so.
They're a playoff team.
Yeah.
USC can kind of look at it, and I don't think it's a bad season, assuming they beat UCLA this weekend. Not a bad season. It's still they're a step behind.
They're building in Southern California, so I wouldn't be too concerned if I'm USC. It's an improvement from where you were with Lincoln Riley. You'd be an extreme mediocre. You've gotten a little bit better. You definitely showed improvement on defense and offense this year. But I think next year is really you're getting a lot of really great players coming in. You got that number one recruiting class. If you keep that together. And avoid, flip watch. I think they could really start to elevate to that top tier of the Big Ten, but it's going to be dependent on if that class and if they can keep recruiting at that level.
Yeah. So that was the biggest game of the day. It was Cupcake Saturday in the SEC. Nobody fell to the cupcakes.
LSU almost lost to Western
They got
Kentucky.
close. They got close.
Holy cow! Was
And-
that an interesting game?
Yeah, and I think with that, has LSU just given up?
I think they've given up, right? I mean, there's no try of that team. Brian Kelly, that was a toxic situation. It was a toxic locker room. He was a toxic coach. He never felt like he actually wanted to be there. And yeah, a lot of teams played cupcakes this week, not just the SEC. Baylor retained Dave Aranda for some reason. I guess we're running it back, but yeah, a lot of teams beating up on teams they were supposed to beat up on.
I think going back to the cupcake week in the SEC, the only interesting one was Auburn had to start Deuce Knight because they couldn't play Ashton, what's his name? Daniels.
Yeah.
Because of eligibility, they burned his red shirt. Well, Deuce Knight, and again against Mercer, Deuce looked like the second coming of Cam Newton.
He could really run.
He could
really run.
We don't know if he could
up
pass
in the air is still passing, which
So it's going to be interesting as they go into the Iron Bowl. Obviously, Alabama.
We'll get to this.
Yeah, so that will be fascinating to watch. Nothing else really in the SEC. Everybody beat up on the cupcakes.
Interesting note in Cal Stanford. Stanford whooped them, and Cal fired Justin Wilcox.
Yeah,
which was kind of a surprise to, I think, a lot of people because he's done a really good job there at Cal, especially with the resources he's been given.
Yeah.
He hasn't been exceptional, but they haven't given him anything to be exceptional either. And I would expect him to be a coordinator somewhere next year, and I would not be surprised if he ends up getting another head coaching job, maybe a G5 down the road at some point. But he's a good coach, and so I think he'll be fine in his career. Otherwise, Duke beat Carolina. Bill Belichick, they got a little better over the season, but still kind of a massively disappointing year if you're the Tar Heels.
The game of the day in the ACC was really supposed to be that Pitt Georgia Tech. Well, Pitt jumped out to a 28-0 lead, hung on. Georgia Tech came fighting back. A great effort by Georgia Tech to kind of make that a game in the second half. But Pitt, with the upset, that threw Georgia Tech's national championship hopes and college football playoff hopes on the back burner.
Yeah,
they need help now. Now the ACC,
they basically have to beat Georgia if they want a chance to be in the playoff.
They do, because I don't think they're going to get. They may not have a shot to get into the ACC title game. Right now, it looks like Virginia and SMU control their destinies. If those two
and
win
they're definitely not getting in as a 3-loss at large. You could have made an argument as 2-loss, but it's not going to happen. Something we noticed earlier in the season it's pretty clear at this point. Georgia Tech's defense is a huge problem. They can't stop anybody, and so that's really thrown water on the fire that was maybe Georgia Tech and their team. Their offense is really potent and dangerous, but their defense is a huge issue.
Yeah, so that'll
especially their secondary.
We'll preview that game in a few minutes coming up. I guess the only other big game, in the SEC there was one big conference game. Tennessee whooped up on Florida. That broke the.
They finally broke the streak.
What was it 20 years streak?
Congrats to the Volunteers. You finally won in Gainesville.
That was rough. Notre Dame beat up on Syracuse. I think they think Syracuse crucified Jesus on the cross. 70-7. I think they could have scored 100. Notre Dame is trying for style points. They're trying to make everybody forget that Miami beat them.
Yeah. They're doing a good job of making people forget.
Yeah, we got that. So nobody in the top. Let's go to the playoff real quick before we get to week 14.
What was the playoff rankings again?
Well, they haven't come out. They're tonight.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So nobody in the top 14 lost because Utah did come back, right?
Yes, Utah came back and won.
So I guess everybody won. So I don't think we're going to see a shakeup. I think the drumbeat, despite ESPN's insistence that Miami and Notre Dame shouldn't be paired, it's going to start to feel a little closer. That it feels like we're going to get to a Miami Notre Dame decision at some point. Right?
I think we have to keep in mind what the committee has shown every single year is that all of the rankings except for the last one are completely for PR. And every year they make, nothing's changed. You'd be like, oh, nothing changed in the rankings. How did they move up or down? They keep reminding us they don't think that way, and they start fresh on the last week of the season and just remake the rankings how they want them to be. So you can't using the current rankings to predict what the playoff will be is, I think, not good logic, because the playoff committee doesn't think that way, and they always will just like revamp and reshuffle teams based on their final rankings, and everything above before that is PR stunts. So it would not surprise me if the placement of Miami Notre Dame is different on Selection Sunday than it is right now.
Yeah, so we have to see what they're going to do.
Even if nothing major changes.
Yeah. So there's a lot of games this week. Vandy is still ahead of Miami. That'll be interesting as a 2-loss Vandy. They play at Tennessee this week. Tennessee with 3 losses is out, but they have a funny way of they could knock off Vandy, which could in fact put Miami up closer to comparison to Notre Dame.
Right.
So that's going to be an interesting game. Alabama, well, we'll get to that in a few minutes. Alabama needs to win. Oklahoma plays LSU. I just don't think LSU has anything in them.
There's no gas left in that tank.
And then I think BYU plays UCF, which crazier things have happened in the Big 12.
Yeah, UCF barely beat Oklahoma State. I'm not really concerned.
Probably not. But so there are very important games this weekend outside of some of the title contenders. We still don't know who's going to go into what conference championship games, and all the conferences really.
Yeah.
So there's a lot on the line this weekend. Why don't we go ahead and let's
move into rivalry week.
So let's talk. Let me advance here. And starting on Friday, let's talk about Ole Miss, Mississippi State. So Ole Miss is playing for, they're playing for the playoffs. I think they're in. They've got 1 loss, right?
Yeah.
So even if they don't want to drop down to 2 losses and get muddled with other teams.
Because then you're comparing them against Vanderbilt, right?
You compare them to Vanderbilt, Miami, Notre Dame, Oklahoma. And then you're
like, what are your wins? And then you start going like, oh, I don't know, man.
And Ole Miss doesn't have quite
They beat Oklahoma. That's probably their best win, right?
That is their best win.
Yeah.
And so I think if you're Ole Miss, you don't want to leave any doubt. You want to stay that 1-loss SEC team. Now, the way the tiebreakers work, it doesn't look like Ole Miss can make the SEC championship game. And I found the tiebreakers yesterday. I couldn't find them today.
Dude, muddying through these tiebreakers is more confusing than like trying to figure out what the market's going to do tomorrow. Like it's impossible to decide. The permutations are insane.
Obviously, if Texas A&M wins, they're in. So if they lose, then that opens the door for Alabama,
they're probably
Georgia.
Still in.
See, A&M may still be in with a 1-loss over Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss needs a lot of help. And
Alabama's going to be in over Georgia unless they lose, right?
Yes. So I think what has to happen is I think you need Alabama to lose, A&M to lose, Ole Miss to win for Ole Miss to get a spot. I think that's the way it has to work.
Okay.
So Ole Miss, you're not
worried. It's not impossible.
Not impossible, but it's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Ole Miss just needs to win. Get in the playoffs. You're pretty much set. You're going to host a first round playoff.
Now there's the big question of, is Lane still there? Does he coach in the playoff?
Do you think he should coach? Let's assume they're going to win, beat Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Now that's not a gimme, but let's assume they will. They're better.
Yeah. I think he should coach in the playoff. I think it's no different than players playing in the playoff when then they're going to transfer to another school at the end of the year. So he's leaving. So what? You still fought for this team. You played for this team. These are your guys. You should absolutely coach in the playoff.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is garbage.
Will he do that if he even leaves? I don't know. It's up in the air. Like, he might do that. Lane's a different guy now than he was 20 years ago, 15 years ago. So he might do that, actually. And he seems to really love Oxford. So even if he leaves, he might still do that.
And see, the thing, what I hear is, well, he can't do that because he could be recruiting the Ole Miss players to go to LSU or to Florida.
They're all leaving at the end of the year anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Like, the players can.
Do you think that's going to stop him from recruiting?
Also, how many players is he really bringing from this Ole Miss team to LSU or Florida?
4, 5, maybe
5 or 6,
and he would bring them anyway.
Yeah.
So what does it matter? I think this whole thing. You have a lot of old heads in the media that just don't like it, and they're going to write all their stories and say that he's a villain.
Well, it's the old heads in the media that came up with the playoff and the portal and all this to begin with. So if you want to, talk about old heads, they're the problem.
Well, I'm with you, Jake. I think you let him coach. You let him coach his team. I don't think his players are going to mind.
I think the players will kind of understand and respect it. He's the portal king. A lot of those players are bought into his like transfer in, transfer out model, right? And then they're going to be mad that he's doing it the same as a coach. I don't think so. I think they'll understand.
It's a business.
I think they'll probably be happy for him to get money.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be some that won't be happy, but so what? Oh, be it. But what's going to happen is if he does leave, he won't coach. We know that. I mean, they won't let him.
Are you sure?
I
don't know, man. I don't know. Because if you're Ole Miss, like, don't you still want to win games? Like, who are you gonna have coach that team? Pete Golding?
I guess you got Pete.
Like,
or who's the OC?
I don't even
what's
know.
his name? The old Notre Dame coach, New England's Patriots OC Charlie Weiss Jr.
Is it Charlie Weiss Jr.?
Charlie
Yeah.
Weiss Jr.,
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't. Yeah. The Ole Miss has got a problem, but we get to Friday.
We're gonna ceteris paribus, economic term. Assuming all else is equal, that's how we're gonna treat it. We can't really break down whether or not he's gonna be there.
That'll be for our show Monday night.
We're gonna approach it based on if he's there.
Yeah. So Ole Miss should win this game. Mississippi State has some fight in them, and this is a big rivalry.
And
game.
Levy is a good coach, and he's got some schemes cooked up.
However, Levy's also proved this year that he can blow some games at the end of the game.
Yes.
I mean, they should have beaten Florida. That end of game management was terrible.
Yes.
I think Ole Miss will take care of business here.
Yeah.
Even with all the distractions.
And I think on Friday we've got two huge ranked matchups that we've got to talk about, and that is.
Wait. I'm taking. This is my lock of the week.
What's your lock of the week?
I got Ole Miss -7.5.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm down on that
I think
as
you
well.
got to go Ole Miss.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. So.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
All right. I think we got to talk about the two huge matchups on Friday. And I kind of don't. I get why they're on Friday because Saturday is kind of taken up by, the big two, the game and the Iron Bowl. But you've got Texas A&M, number 3 A&M, number 16 Texas. Why is Texas 16? Couldn't tell you. But that's a huge game. A&M. A&M and Texas both really care about this. It's a huge rivalry. They didn't play for a long time. They're trying to win. If they win, they're in the SEC championship game, an undefeated regular season, which would be huge for Texas A&M. This seems to be their year. Mike Elko, new coach. All the storylines converge on the Texas A&M game. Giant matchup. It'll be an exciting game. I'm interested to see Marcel Reed against that defense, and I'm interested to see how Elko tries to confuse Arch Manning.
Yeah, I mean, make no mistake. Look back at Manning's last few games. He's been playing.
He's been better
in the second. He's been playing better in the second half of the season. I think
in-person huddle.
That's
yes,
right.
Sir.
Absolutely. I still think that this and Texas doesn't have the home field advantage that Texas A&M does, so I think that negates any of that.
It's a little more wine and cheese.
Yeah. This is this the night game? Yeah, this is the night game, isn't it? Because Georgia Tech's the afternoon. I believe so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think this game matters a whole lot to A&M for just putting a book into this season, the undefeated season, finishing
exclamation
Texas off,
point,
knocking Texas out of the playoffs, going to the SEC title. I think you've got so much on the line for Texas A&M, and I don't think Elko is going to let this game get away from them. I think they will. I think they remember last year of having a position where they could have maybe made the SEC championship and just didn't show up very well.
Yep.
I think you'll see the best of Marcel Reed. I think they're a 2.5-point favorite. I think they're going to win this game easily. I think they're going to confuse Arch Manning. I think Arch has looked better against bad teams. Let's be honest with you.
Yeah, and let's be clear. I think if you compare Elko's defense and Sark's offense, which one's been the better unit this year?
Oh, Elko.
Elko's defense.
Now,
right?
Le'Veon Moss may be doubtful.
But they're deep at running back. They have Reuben Owens there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned, even if he doesn't play. I'm not concerned at all. Their O-line is one of the best in the entire country. You could put a slow guy back there, you probably still get some yards.
Yeah, they deserve the Joe Moore Award this year. Best,
in my opinion.
Over several teams. I think this will be, and I think there's going to be particular pride in them kind of finishing this. This is a special season. Whether or not they win the national championship, this is a special season, and I think they're going to take pride in that punctuation.
I'm actually betting Texas A&M -2.5.
Yeah,
I'm locking that up as well. So.
Now we get that afternoon game. If you're kind of looking for something to do between eating Thanksgiving leftovers or you're just kind of passing out on the couch, Georgia versus Georgia Tech.
Clean, old-fashioned hate, baby. This is going to be a game.
This was 8 overtimes last year.
8 overtimes, and man, that was absolute cinema. Georgia Tech didn't pull it out, unfortunately. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, Georgia Tech, they're still good this year. Can they beat Georgia? Georgia showed some weaknesses." But something I've noticed a couple of weeks ago, and I keep reiterating, is Georgia and Georgia Tech seem to have gone in opposite directions since kind of reaching their peak midway through the season. Georgia has seemed to have improved a lot more as the season's gone on. Their offense has gotten better. Gunnar Stockton's gotten better. The defense has played a little better. Georgia Tech, their offense has been about the same, and their defense has just declined rapidly. And as much as I am pulling for the Yellow Jackets, I'm a huge Georgia Tech, like, let's go, Haynes King the whole way. Like, I just don't see it happening this year. I think Georgia's going to win. I think they're going to win soundly, unfortunately.
It's a 13.5-point line.
It is a 13.5-point line. Look, if Georgia Tech wins, I'm not going to be insanely surprised because their offense, I guess the way you would do that is control the game. Georgia's offense is ineffective. Some of the stuff doesn't work, right? And they kind of score with them and they barely win. Like, that could happen. I see that scenario. I just don't think it's very likely, and I got Georgia winning this game, and I think Georgia's played a lot better in recent weeks. They did struggle, with some teams earlier in the season, but I think Georgia wins this one pretty handily, unfortunately.
Yeah,
even though I'm rooting for Georgia Tech.
I don't know Georgia has, as much as I hate to say it, they have looked a lot better in the last month.
Yeah.
Gunnar Stockton seemed to have found a confidence in that offense. Look at that Texas matchup. They really seem to have found their stride. Georgia Tech's defense just isn't going to be able to stop them. And not that I think Georgia Tech's that great of an offense, but they're more than good enough. This feels like it's going to be a game that's going to get away slowly. This is not going 8 overtimes. Give me a lock. Georgia minus 13.5. This one we may see this one over so we can go get dinner. We'll be in the Central Time Zone. We can go get dinner and go have a good time.
Yeah, I'm not betting this one, but I definitely think Georgia wins.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on Friday. Let's touch on the rest of the games. We do have an interesting game out in Arizona because, believe it or not,
the Territorial Cup.
Arizona State has a small chance of still making the Big 12 championship. Now, I don't say it's going to happen.
Isn't it if Texas A&M loses?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with Texas A&M.
Or Texas Tech, sorry.
If Texas Tech loses
to West Virginia.
Again, I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but
yeah,
there's an outside chance. So Arizona State is playing for something. Arizona's actually started playing better in the back half of the year.
They're 8 wins now?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of a surprise.
They kicked Baylor's butt.
Yeah, so this is a game. If you're just a sicko for football like we are,
it's going to be a good game.
This actually might be a fun game. I mean, Arizona's won 4 in a row. They're putting up points. Noah Fafita looks pretty good.
Yeah.
If you just enjoy football, what's the line on this one? I think Arizona State favored, I believe.
I think, but you remember Arizona State doesn't have
Tyson's out, isn't he?
No, their quarterback. Sam Levitt's out.
Yeah, but they've been making he's made Jeff Sims look like a good quarterback.
Yeah. I still think
Arizona's favored by a point now.
I still think Arizona wins. But I think it could be a good game.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game to watch. You do get Utah and Kansas on Friday.
Big in the American, Navy Memphis.
Yeah. So that is a game. Navy still has an outside shot at the American.
I think,
I believe. Yeah. Again, the crazy tiebreakers.
And then North Texas will probably take care of Temple. But it's important to watch what happens in the American because the winner of that may end up in the playoff. Or it could be JMU. But I still think they're probably not going to pick JMU because of the lack of strength of schedule.
Yeah, I think they're going to jump. I think unless these teams in the American get upset and they're forced to pick JMU, I think they want to pick the American. They almost want North Texas to get it if possible.
Yeah.
But so you got
Eric Morris has done a great job there.
Yes. And they're trying to lock him up for a bigger deal. They're trying to find NIL money to keep him there a little bit longer. So there are some good games on Friday, enough to kind of keep you interested, especially if you're not really interested in some of the NFL. There are a couple of NFL games on Friday, I believe.
Yeah, whatever.
We're not going to be watching that. I think our Tyler, my son, his brother, will probably try to drag us into some NFL. Please don't tell me about NBA basketball cup games.
Yeah.
League Cup. I don't want to hear any of that garbage. Anyway, so it's a good sports day on Friday if you don't want to do shopping. You just want to hang out and watch some football.
Yeah.
Then we get to Saturday. Where do we start?
Peak. It's rivalry week, so you know what that means. Dad, do you know what we do with the records of teams on rivalry week?
We throw them
out the window, baby. We throw them out the window because we have got cinema across the board, all right? And even if the main games, the feature games aren't as good, you can flip to some random channel because I guarantee you, Vanderbilt, Tennessee will be cool. We got Vanderbilt, Tennessee. We got Ohio State, Michigan. We got Miami Pitt. We've got who else we
I
have?
think Florida State's on the Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah, we have the Iron Bowl at
Oh, yeah,
night
at
in
night.
Jordan Hare.
There's some voodoo going on there.
Oh man, that's gonna be insane. We've got Virginia Tech. We got the Commonwealth Clash.
And
We
don't-
have.
Don't look past Notre Dame and Stanford. Stanford could.
That's what I was saying.
could-
Stanford
could-
just took care of Cal.
They might be able to do something.
They're feisty. They're fight UCSC versus UCLA, the Color Rush matchup. We have Wisconsin, Minnesota, Paul Bunyan's Axe. We've got Kentucky, Louisville. We've got so many great rivalries, so many potential opportunities for fights.
Oh yeah, like whose flags will get planted?
Flag
where?
plantings, fights, coach yellings. How many are we going to get? I'm not sure. It's going to be awesome. We have how many other games do we have?
We got Clemson, South Carolina.
Palmetto Bowl. We have
You got a lot of good games. Let's start with the game. That's going to be your noon
Yeah.
slate.
yeah.
Ohio State at Michigan. At Michigan this year. That's important.
It's cold. It's going to be cold.
Ohio State has got to be, I think, at least 5 years, or as long as I remember, they've been the least talked about number one team I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Nobody's paid any attention to Ohio State all year. They've just gone on their merry way and just beat the tar out of every single team.
Yeah.
And now they get to their schedule. This is where their schedule, now their season starts.
They don't call it the game for nothing. This is the game.
And last year we assumed they were going to whoop up on a bad Michigan team.
And they didn't.
And they did.
This year, we're assuming they're going to whoop up on a bad Michigan team. You can't tell me from the evidence that we've seen this season that Ohio State shouldn't destroy this Michigan team. However, this is rivalry week. We throw the records out. It's cold. It's in Ann Arbor. This Michigan team is better than last year's Michigan team. I think that's pretty clear across the board.
Is it? I guess
Last
so.
year, they won five, 6 games.
They went 8-4 last year, didn't they? They beat Bama in the
Okay, with the bowl game, right? Okay, they're already better than that this year. Like,
yeah. So Michigan, yeah,
they've got a good quarterback with potential to be, if he makes great plays. Yeah, Yale already beat Harvard. That's the real game. You're right. We don't forget our history, but and so nothing coming into this leads me to believe that Michigan can win, except for the fact that Ohio State is in their own head and Michigan is in their walls, right? And I just don't know. Is Jeremiah Smith healthy?
Yeah,
we
he's
think
healthy enough to play.
We think he's healthy, right?
He did low management last week.
And got to remember, like, the best defense Ohio State faced, they scored 14 points, right? And Michigan will be a good defense. They're not as good as Texas defense. But, like, what happens
that
if
was game one? Too.
It was game one, but the potential for that is there. That's within the range of outcomes, right? And so, look, I'm picking Ohio State to win. I think they'll win. I'm absolutely not betting this game. I think Ohio State wins. I would not be I think it'd be amazing. I would be pretty surprised if Michigan won.
It's a 10.5-point line. Give me Ohio State. Lock it down.
Okay.
Ohio State -10.5. They are going to get all the revenge and then some for the last 4 years.
You think so?
They are literally going to – Julian Sayin may not even throw an incomplete pass in this game. They will – listen, I like Bryce Underwood, but if you've watched him this year, yes, he's talented and he's got some interesting stats just because they put it on some bad teams. But he has looked inconsistent. He's looked all the part of a freshman.
I agree.
I do not think this the strength of this Ohio State team. He's not met a defense like this. They will confuse him all day long. He will not be able to do anything.
Caleb Downs may put him in a box.
They absolutely
that's very possible.
And then I think Julian Sayin will just pick that defense apart. Julian Sayin, it should be the Heisman favorite. He has looked impressive all year. And because we don't pay attention to him because he's not getting any buzz. Nobody's talking about him.
I think Mendoza should be the Heisman.
Well, we're going to decide this in the Big Ten Championship.
Yeah.
Whoever looks great in that game will probably win it. But I think this is Ohio State's year to win the Big Ten and to finally get Michigan off their backs.
Maybe.
Give me Ohio State.
It may happen.
Yeah.
But
I think it'll be a great game. And I don't think Michigan State, they don't like them. They take the M's off the signs this week all around the state. This will be a great game. At least we hope so. That'll be one of your beginning games. I think at the same time we get Miami Pitt. Now that may not sound
is huge. First of all, it's a ranked matchup. Second of all, that's huge in the ACC, okay?
Yes.
This is huge for Miami is trying to make the playoff. Can Pitt still make the ACC championship
Pitt
game?
can still make it. Miami still has an outside shot at the AC, depending on how things break.
Yeah.
So Miami is fighting for a playoff spot. This is an important game, and so you better have a second screen on this one. Pitt has shown the ability since they brought the freshman quarterback in there. This offense has taken off.
Heinschel, right?
Heinschel, yeah, Mason. This team has looked very good. Now, you never know with a freshman
It's
quarterback.
also looked very good against some bad teams.
Yes, but
Against Notre Dame, who Miami beat, they didn't look so great.
So, but Miami needs to win. They need to stay.
They need to win in like a statement too. They need to win like well, because they're getting doubted by a lot of committees.
It's at Pittsburgh, which is not cold weather town. That's not going to help.
Cold.
Miami.
It is November. Miami Hurricanes in the north.
Yeah,
this doesn't bode well for Mario Cristobal. Can they come out with a win?
No. So yeah, this will be a fascinating game. I think. I expect Miami to win. I expect them to come out and probably. What's the line on this one? I didn't even see this line. Miami.
And what time is
that's a new game.
Tennessee Vanderbilt is the 3:30 slot, right?
I think so. Let's see. Miami is a 6.5-point favorite. I think Miami's not going to let us down this week. I think they're ready. They understand the consequences. Tennessee Vanderbilt is.
I just can't trust.
3:30.
I can't trust Miami in a game that they need to win like this. I just can't do it.
Well, you usually don't. That's the thing. Anyway, so Miami's an early game. Tennessee Vanderbilt is a 3:30.
Miami's
game.
-6.5.
You can get them a 7 in some books. But 6.5. Yeah. Tennessee Vanderbilt's a later game. Another game that's early on. Don't sneak past this Texas Tech West Virginia game. Now, I think Texas Tech is far better in West Virginia. But, man, you're going into the mountains of West Virginia on a cold weather weekend with Rich Rod having nothing to play for. I'm telling you what, and those Texas Tech boys haven't seen anything like this. That just has a weird feeling to it to me.
Yeah, I still think Texas Tech is too good. I think they're going to win. I think their defense is way too good. Jacob Rodriguez has been insane. He's not going to win the Heisman, but he might get to New York if he plays like this in the Big 12 title in this game. He's been amazing. A linebacker, by the way, leads the country in turnovers for a single player. Has over 100 tackles, right? Like, yeah. He's been insane for their defense. So
you got that game. You've got let's see. I think in the early slate you got Houston at Baylor. Do you even want to talk about this one?
Houston's going to kill us.
You say who knows?
Yeah. Tennessee Vanderbilt.
Okay. So there's a lot of writing on that game.
Yeah.
You want to click on that?
Yeah. Let's go to Tennessee Vanderbilt. So
Tennessee's not going to make the playoffs.
Slot.
They're not making the playoffs. Vanderbilt has a chance.
They do.
But they got to win this game.
And also, this is big because Vanderbilt has not – when was the last time they won this game? It's been a long time, right?
Yeah, I don't have my other sheet here. Normally I can see that. But, it's been a long time since they beat Tennessee, I think.
So this is huge.
Here it is. That's fine. Yeah. They have not won since – they ain't even been close. Out of 114 meetings, they've won all time. Tennessee's won 81 of them.
Yeah. So this is huge for Vanderbilt. If they can cap off this incredible season with Diego Pavia, if they can get to 10 wins, they can beat Tennessee. This would be huge for them. Tennessee, for once, is playing the spoiler and not Vanderbilt. If they beat Vanderbilt, they knock Vanderbilt out of the playoff conversation. So that'd be huge for them. They get up to 9 wins. And so I think that'll be a really interesting game. And it'll kind of, if Vanderbilt loses or wins, it'll kind of set like a barometer in place for the rest of the playoff conversation. They're kind of a marker.
This is a game where styles make fights.
Yes.
I don't think this is a good matchup for Vandy.
I don't know. I just don't think Tennessee's defense has not been very good this year.
Yeah, but I think Tennessee is going to be able to score points against Vandy. I think this is where.
Yeah, maybe. You might be right.
I think this is where Vandy's going to struggle to keep up pace.
I think Vanderbilt breaks through. I think this is the year they win it. I think Pavia and that offense is good enough. And Tennessee's run defense specifically has really just not been anything to speak of that this year. So, give me Vanderbilt to win. I'm not picking it, but I think Vanderbilt wins.
Yeah, it's we'll see. I mean, when Diego is your leading rusher and your passer, it's a lot of. I mean, you can.
Yeah, but he's that guy. Here's the thing. He's that dude. So
yeah, that'll be 3:30. I believe is that your ABC game? I think that may be your ABC game.
Yeah.
3:30. Let's see. You've got. I'm trying to think of other games that have potential big time. Oklahoma LSU. That may be. I forget what time that game is. Let's see what time that one
Yeah.
is. That may
It's
be
also
that
3:30.
3:30 game just because they can draw. So Oklahoma's in a must win. Now that's at Norman. I don't.
LSU is a dead team walking. I don't think they have a prayer in this. I think there's no try. There's no oomph. There's nothing on that LSU team. So I think Oklahoma runs away with this one.
Yeah, last year LSU beat this Oklahoma team really badly. I don't see LSU. It's just hard to see. Garrett Nussmeier is not playing. Michael Van Buren is going to start at quarterback. That's another sign that LSU is just kind of mailing it in.
Yeah.
This should not be close. Are they even? What's the line on this one?
I'm not sure. I think what is the line is let's see here.
10.5.
10.5. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bet that because I think that win by 10, especially with Oklahoma's offense, it's pretty reasonable. We've got several rivalry games that are just the absolute mid-offs. South Carolina, Clemson, Florida State, NC State, UNC. Those are rivalry games that are important to those teams, but those are extremely mid battles of mid. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I think.
Wait. I've got a message. Breaking news. Message board geniuses have told me the Lane has bought a house in Baton Rouge. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not real.
No, yeah, the message boards. Yeah. Let's listen to the message boards. I'm sure they know what best. Oregon, Washington. Oregon should take care of business, but if Washington does upset them, that throws a huge wrench and complications and everything. I don't think it's super possible, but maybe if Oregon's caught sleeping, it's a rivalry, so I don't think they will be. But I think now, Dad, I think we're 40 minutes in. We've got to discuss the trappest game of all time, and that is number 10 Alabama going in to Jordan-Hare Stadium at night. We will be at this game. We are going to the Iron Bowl for the first time. We are hoping for some Jordan-Hare, some Indian burial ground magic, some voodoo, some Deuce Night. I don't know what's going to happen in this game.
So, I mean, I have not watched enough this week. I don't even know if they've made statements. Who's starting at quarterback? I got to think you got to start Ashton.
You probably have to start Ashton, but I think you're definitely mixing some packages with.
I think Deuce is coming in, and so that you don't give Alabama different looks.
Yeah,
I think that would confuse the heck out of him because he comes in the game, you're like, oh, he could run for 75 yards at any moment.
Yep.
And then you don't know, and I think you've got to mix that in. And if you're DJ Durkin, that's going to give you just another weapon. Alabama historically has not played running quarterbacks very well.
Yeah, I mean, it's no longer the Saban defense, but even this season they haven't played running back quarterbacks very well.
So Alabama showed that, again, it was an Oklahoma defense, but this Auburn defense isn't far off from Oklahoma's. I mean, they're
a pretty solid defense. They've got guys.
And Oklahoma showed
Falk, right?
Yeah,
Cedric Falk.
But the whole defense, the back end is good too. I think Oklahoma gave us a blueprint on what to do with Alabama. Alabama should not run the ball very well.
They can't run the ball at all.
And really. So, I mean, I think you kind of follow that Alabama-Oklahoma game, and I think you can see what you can do.
I think you dare them to run the ball, and you drop people back and prevent the pass from taking over, prevent those receivers.
Yeah, and the 88,000 at Auburn, faithful, are going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. And that place, there's just something about it when those two play at Jordan-Hare. I don't know what to expect this game.
It has not been a night game there in a long time.
It has been since 2013.
And what happened the last time there was a night game there? And
no, that wasn't it.
Do you remember what happened?
It wasn't a night game. That wasn't Chris Harris.
No. It wasn't it Cam? Wasn't it the Cam back?
No, that wasn't. That was a night game. Okay. Most of the time those were 3:30s. It just got dark.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, this is going to be a fascinating game. Man, I want to pick Auburn. I so want them to win the game.
I'm too emotional about this, and there's too much storyline, so I'm not betting this game. But let me tell you, I think this is the biggest upset watch of the entire day. I think it's very possible that Alabama goes in there, loses. By the way, Alabama, they're 2 losses now, right?
Yeah.
If
so
they lose, they're out of the playoff.
Yeah, 9-3, it's going to be very hard for them.
They're not getting into the playoff.
because here's what the problem that they have, and Texas has the same problem. You're going to try.
They're going to be blocked by Vanderbilt and Miami.
Vanderbilt, Miami, Notre Dame. Assume those teams win, and they're going to say, but we're SEC. But
Well, they're going to say we beat them.
Well, okay, but you've got Alabama. What are your losses then? To Auburn, who's not going to a bowl, and to Florida State, who was like the 10th place ACC
That Florida
team.
State loss will really kill them.
That'll kill
if they get into an argument.
I don't care how
about
many
3
top
losses.
25 wins you had. Oh, by the way, those top 25 wins, those teams aren't even in the top 25 anymore.
Yeah.
It's gonna that Bama record's not gonna hold up as well if they get
Now
to
they
3
got to
losses.
win, so they can win, and then they're in.
Yeah, so Bama has to win. So, yeah, this is gonna be a fascinating game. I'm really excited to see how this will go. My gut tells me Bama's gonna win, but you just don't know that stadium, man.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody. I think everybody in the Auburn team believes they can win. I thought it was funny in practice Monday. DJ Durkin said he spent time actually educating the players about the history of this game and how important it is. So that'll be a fascinating matchup.
Yeah, I think so. I think we got to talk about the Commonwealth Clash, Commonwealth Cup, whichever one you want to call it, between Virginia Tech and Virginia. Virginia historically very much cursed in this rivalry game. But if they win, Virginia, the Who's, advance to the ACC championship game.
Yeah, there's big news today out of there within the last couple of hours. Cam Robertson, the best player in Virginia's defense, is out for the season now. He tore his ACL.
I didn't know that.
Or MCL, one of them against Duke. He was their All-American candidate for linebacker. That's definitely going to hurt.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia's been led defensively really the last month or so, and that's really going to come in handy. Chandler Morris did have come back for the Duke game. I think that was a benefit for them. Jamari Taylor's had a great year. He may cross over 1,000 yards in this game. What a great running back! 13 touchdowns on the year.
Yeah.
Virginia's favored. I think I saw a 10.5-point number, 11-point number earlier in the week.
I don't like being favored by that much.
No, as we were talking earlier today, I mean, he's only seen it twice in his lifetime.
Twice in my lifetime has Virginia beaten Virginia Tech.
Yeah, this is a bad voodoo game. I mean, this is the opposite. I mean, you don't care where it's played. They just have Virginia's number. They're in their head. And this is for all the marbles. Virginia wants to make it an ACC championship game and see what they can do, but they have the game at home. If this was Lane Stadium, I would say no way it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think the game is a sellout in Charlottesville, and that's good. I don't like the fact that it's a night game. I don't know if that helps or hurts. I don't know.
I don't know, man. But this is for all the marbles. This is for Virginia's entire season right here. Comes down to this game.
And you want to get them now because with James Franklin coming in, I think that obviously they're not going to be 3-8. Tech's not going to be 3-8 much.
Yeah, and the much criticized Franklin is he never fields bad teams. He just fails to beat top 5 teams.
Yeah.
And I think that would pretty much rule out Virginia basically any year.
Yeah. So, boy, I mean, we're going to beat the Iron Bowl, so I'm really not going to watch this much. We'll try to watch it on our phones and certainly watch the replay later after the game or the next day. But this is I think this is going to be a tight contest. I think that if I could bet it, I can't bet it because we're in Virginia. I would probably lay the point. I would take Virginia Tech in the points because I think it'll be a closer game than that. Virginia has played a lot of close games.
Yeah.
I think they're okay playing close games, and I think Chandler Morris has had a great season. I think he's going to try to keep them in this ball game. Look for a tight scoring game, probably in the 20s would be my guess, with Virginia hopefully coming out on top, but nothing's going to surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The game is just bad. It's bad for Virginia. But if we can win, the season's in front of us. This is it right here. So.
Yeah. So then after Saturday, we're going to have all these results, and then we're finally going to know conference championships. I think we'll have a pretty good picture of the playoff, honestly, because Notre Dame will not play the next weekend. We'll probably have a good sense of where Miami is.
It'll depend. Like, obviously, we won't know the auto bids. In the ACC and the Big 12 are really the only ones where you could have bid stealers. Because I think we're pretty sure the SEC and Big 10, both teams that make it, are going to be in the playoff.
Yes.
Yeah, there's pretty much no scenario where that doesn't happen. So the playoff picture will sort of make sense, barring, again, chaos from the Big 12 and the ACC. And it'll be interesting because this weekend will probably shake out the G5 as well because
JMU is going to have to go to a Sun Belt championship game play, so you could lose.
Yeah, and it'll depend on who makes the American Conference title. It's probably North Texas and Tulane, maybe,
and I think,
or maybe Memphis,
and then they may bump the winner above. I mean, so there's a lot.
Who knows?
We'll still get to a conference championship weekend with something, but I think you're going to see a lot more shakeout this weekend. And we only got 2 weeks left, and then we'll know the playoff. Then we'll have a whole month to sit here, or 2 or 3 weeks at least, to sit here and talk about these playoff matchups and analyze them to death. And we'll be here to do that. So.
Yeah, we will break that down. And remember, guys, it's December coming up soon, so you know what that means. National Signing Day is almost here, which is just insane that the conference, the college football calendar is like this. But we will. Break down if any insanity happens on National Signing Day. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about playoffs. We'll be here to break all that down for you. So
and we'll be back probably Monday night, I believe.
I would guess Monday night, with Monday the reaction.
And we'll know where Lane's gone, so we can talk about the pros and cons of that. Next steps for either Florida or LSU or Ole Miss or all of them.
Yeah.
So So good stuff.
All right, and I think we're pretty sure at this point. Summerall's going to Auburn.
I think that's pretty. I expect that announcement probably Sunday or Monday. I think Sunday or Monday we'll hear. I imagine we'll hear Penn State pretty soon. I think all leaning towards.
I think it will be interesting if Summerall coaches Tulane in the playoffs if they make it.
I think with the G5 they'll let him.
They'll probably do it.
If he goes to a bowl, it won't happen. But if it's a playoff, they'll let him do it.
So that'll be interesting.
And Arkansas, I heard rumblings Matt Campbell may be in the mix there, but I don't know.
I have no idea.
It's been very tight-lipped.
It's going to be all over. I have no idea who's going to be at Arkansas. Same thing with Cal. So are we sure Chesney's going to Penn State? Does that seem like
we're leading? But still, that's been an interesting search as well.
Yeah. JMU really the Big Ten feeder school for coaches at this point.
It is. If you're a young coach, you want to get that JMU job next.
Yep.
That's where next you want to be. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. We really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow on all the socials. And we'll be back next week with reactions and more breakdown, more college football content. And have a good rivalry week and enjoy.